Hi everybody, I'm Camille Harvey and I'm going to be presenting about the qualities of integrity. So the reason that I chose this word is because within sports, I feel that integrity is something that promotes confidence, fairness, and overall enhances the characteristics of an athlete. Integrity is the quality of being honest and showing consistent and uncompromising submission to moral and ethical principles and values. So I want to emphasize this very first definition where it says firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic values. And within this, there are 7 qualities: honesty, respect, responsibility, accountability, transparency, fairness, and trust. These 7 have been very, very common in any situations that I think of where integrity is the main key. And the way that I define integrity is a person that stays true to their values and somebody that's always doing the right thing no matter who's watching, even if nobody's watching. And here are some examples where somebody may have dropped a wallet and you are going to have to be the person that returns it. In some cases where integrity is lacking, people choose not to return that wallet and use it for personal gain. Something else that I listed was honesty in the workplace. There's multiple examples of honesty in the workplace, but one that really stuck out to me was if maybe your boss overpaid you. Yes, woo, but also if you know that you didn't get paid correctly, you should definitely go to your boss and ask if this was a mistake. Maybe they gave you a raise, but you won't know the true answer to it if you don't ask or you don't confront your boss about the situation. Because if you're just getting paid extra and you didn't ask the boss, like, hey, I saw a few extra zeros on my check, is this correct? And if it is, perfect. But if it's not, you're holding yourself to a higher standard of respect and honesty where you now know that, okay, this was a mistake. If I see this again, I can also go to my boss one more time. And then taking accountability for mistakes. I feel like this is one of the biggest ones in sports that can be an example of integrity. Some examples of lacking integrity is dishonesty, avoidance of accountability, disrespecting rules or ethics. So this very last one of disrespecting rules and ethics, I'll bring it back when I get to one of my last slides. Moving forward, the movie scene that I picked was from the movie Finding Forrester. And in this movie scene, it's called Finding a Friend of Integrity. Forrester defends Jamal after being accused of plagiarism. Mind you, Jamal is just a great writer. And Forrester presents a speech to many, many people. And at the end of the speech, he gets a round of applause, as he should. It was a great speech. At the very end of the speech, as he's walking out, a chairman stops him and is saying, "What do we owe the honored?" And he was basically saying that he was defending his friend, and his friend is Jamal. And Jamal was the one that actually wrote the speech for everybody to hear, which is to give the advantage of like, hey, Jamal wrote this great speech and you guys also accused him of plagiarism. So trying to find the balance of, were they wrong? Is he just a great writer? And so this was just something that really stuck out to me within this movie. And the explanation of the movie scene, this was a quote from the movie scene. It says, "I spoke here today because of a friend of mine wasn't allowed to. A friend who had the integrity to protect me when I was unwilling to protect him." This shows accountability, honesty and holding people to a higher standard. And just trusting that Dr. Forrester was going to let everybody know that actually Jamal wrote this. So, I don't know, this was just something that really stuck with me after watching this movie and seeing this scene. And in one of my other books that I've read in this term, there's a quote that says, "I coach to help boys become men of empathy and integrity who will lead, be responsible, and change the world for good." As a coach, you have many responsibilities. My responsibilities and my roles as a volleyball coach: I build confidence in players, I correct improper technique, and I scout other teams. But we're all more than just a coach. I think this is like the cool part and the part that goes very unseen in many coaches and can be overlooked. Many coaches are more than just a coach. They are parents, daughters, teachers. They may have 2 other jobs as well as being a coach. So we are more than just coaches. We discipline these athletes where they need it. We teach them rules and things like that where they're not getting maybe the discipline or teaching that they need, maybe at home or in school. So we are building athletes that can become something and make an impact in their lives so that in the future they can remember, like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I should do this instead. Or maybe I should have integrity in this moment and do X, Y, Z. After reading the Bible multiple times, this book multiple times from the Bible, this quote, this verse really stood out. Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. I personally would rather be dirt poor and have morals and hold myself to a high standard than a very, very rich man that doesn't care about anybody, is a liar, is a cheater, and doesn't really care about anybody else or anything else but the good of themselves. A direct quote from one of the books that we were reading this semester, which is Teaching Character Through Sports by Bruce Brown. Helping young men and women understand the difference between right and wrong behavior and teaching them to have the courage to live by those standards makes the act of coaching an expression of love. So as I was saying previously, where athletes are not able to get the teachings that they should maybe at home, we are here to help these athletes gain knowledge about the real world or about how to treat others and things of that sort. So I really, really love this because I've always loved all my coaches and they've always taught me so many great things. So now that I'm a coach, I understand it and I treat it as an act of love as well. Lack of integrity in volleyball, just a prime example. This was a misplay and the ref definitely was not being honest and was choosing a side and not showing any fairness at all. So this was, if you want to watch it, please watch it. It's a great clip and this is a prime example of what happens in volleyball. And so the conclusion is basically to stay true to your morals and always continue to drive the characteristics of integrity and to always do the right thing, no matter if 100 people are watching or if nobody's watching. So, yeah, thank you.